evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Charlando con las Comunidad. It's translates to chatting with the community, and we have a nice little program today. I hope we can fulfill everything that we want to talk about. I want to thank Bill and Cheryl for their cooperation with this show. And I have a main item that I want to talk about, but since I've been watching a lot of the news, I've been seeing a lot of things that have been going on in the world, and a few items that I would like to chat about. I just saw that the King Juan Carlos of Spain has abdicated his throne to his son Philip VI. And I guess we will have a new king in Spain. I relate a lot to that because Juan Carlos, the king, is my age, or maybe a little bit younger. And I still remember when he came into power, and when Francisco Franco gave him back his throne. And then on another note too, I've been watching the College World Series. And I've been going to a few of the games, and I get disturbed with these announcers. They're so intelligent people, and they have so much access to so many things that they can work on, and yet it seems like they have trouble pronouncing people's names. They seem to be able to pronounce a lot of the people who have European names, and they have Asian names, but when it comes to the Spanish names, they always mispronounce them. And I know that a lot of people, maybe the players don't care how their names are pronounced, but I really do care because I hate for them. You'd think they would ask somebody or ask even the players, how do you pronounce your name, or how do you say your name? And I know they always say, well, that's hard, but one of those things that you can learn how to do these things. And these guys have been doing TV and sports for a long time. By now, you'd think they would learn how to pronounce people's names. And another thing too that I've been watching is about all these children that have been coming from certain parts of the continent, mainly from Central America, South America, and Mexico. And well, they come through Mexico, some of them, but they claim that they're trying to get away from violence and a lot of these things. But it's just strange that people would send them out by themselves. First, the same people who come, they claim that the United States is being very mean because they separate their families, but yet they can put their kids at risk, their children at risk, and send them across a country that they don't know anything about, and it's very dangerous. But yet, once they get here, they claim that they're mistreated, and then now it's putting a burden in the United States. But on a higher note, on a lighter note, I might say, I think these kids don't know it, but they might end up being the next warriors of defenders of this country, because if they're going to be here so badly, they might have to end up joining the service or something, because I know they can't work because they're too young. But anyway, that's only my opinion. It's something I wanted to kind of get off my chest. And for now, I want to get talk about the migration of the cranes. I know it's a little bit late in the summer right now, but it's something to think about. I like wildlife and nature a lot, and I like to be out whether it be hot or cold or whatever. I like to be out and about and talk about a lot of these things. The migration takes place more or less from around February through April. And the sandhill cranes come. They've been coming to the area around about Grand Island and Kearney, kind of in between those Gibbon and all these little towns, for many years, probably thousands of years as far as they can see. But right now they're in an advantage that they can fatten up on the corn that's left over from a lot of these farms that are in that area. and maybe years ago or thousands of years ago, I don't know, when there weren't any farms, maybe they must have been able to find something to eat, because once they get fattened up, and it's okay. Once they get fattened up and ready to go, they get ready to go, and when it's time to go, they just fly away. And they have a technique too, that when they fly away, they go up and go to certain levels in the sky, and they look for, they kind of make circles, and they find warmer currents, and then once they find the current that they like, then they can go and fly away. And then when they get to Alaska or even farther up north, that's where they lay their eggs, and they mate and they lay their eggs, and then by the time they get ready to come south, they're gonna all fly south. They go to areas like northern Mexico or Padre Islands and places like that. There's another migration, small one, that goes along the west coast, and some of them stay right in New Mexico, in a place called El Bosque del Apache, which is also a place where they can stay. There's a lot of geese there too, snow geese. But now in El Bosque in New Mexico, they actually grow corn, especially for the cranes. So they get pretty nice and fat over that. But anyway, these cranes that come out here from Grand Island, they pretty much eat, like I say, a lot of corn, and they also dig for worms and a lot of the different things that they can eat on. And they when they go out in the fields early in the morning between 7 and maybe 10 or 11, and you can watch them off the roads if you want to. You can kind of travel all these back roads, and you can see them, and you can watch them do their stuff. But it's better just to watch them from your car, and don't try to chase them around, and because they fly away. Once they fly from the fields, then they don't come back. So I've learned that the hard way from a lot of the people. But it's nice to watch them. And also there's a way where you can go to this place called Rose Sanctuary, and you can go, if you go real early in the morning between 5 and 6 before it gets light, and you're all signed up, you can actually go in groups, and they take you out to they walk you out to the river, and you can stand behind these blinds with little peepholes that where you can take photographs, or you want to just watch with binoculars. You can do a lot of that stuff, by just doing that. And then once all the cranes are gone out to the fields, then they'll march you right back to the sanctuary. Another way to watch them, if you want to get up early in the morning and turn on your computer, and you can log on to rosesanctuary.org and go on crane cam, which is a camera that they have out there over the river, looks over the river, and it just kind of rotates, and it keeps panning the river, and then once in a while it'll zoom in on them, and they have a lot of things that go on. Watch them, and a lot of activities that go on. They run around, they play, they dance, they beak to beak, and they kind of spread their wings, and it's just a lot of fun to watch them. But they also have a still camera that they put out in the middle, out on one of those islands in the river. And once the birds are gone, they'll go out and set the camera, and then when they're coming in at night, they can shoot pictures of the cranes, and then also they can shoot pictures early in the morning when they're out there, in the middle of the river. They always sleep in the middle of the river. They say sleep, but they sure don't let you sleep. If you happen to be out there in the middle of the night, they sure make a lot of noise. And I'm gonna try to put some of those sounds into the video so you can watch them. And they really make a fantastic sound. It's just a joy to watch them and hear them. And then you can also about the end of January they let you go ahead and make reservations. You can reserve a blind, what they call a photographer's blind, and it sets right at the edge. It's of the river, about maybe 18 inches to 2 feet by the river, along the river, and then you can stay there all night long and you can't get out until they come back. But when I come back on my next segment, I'll go ahead and explain a little bit more about exactly how it is to manage that the way you have to do that renting of these blinds, because they have like 3 or 4 of them. I'm not too sure, and they're on the south side of the river, and like I say, that you can view them from there, and you can take some fantastic video, or you can take some real good still pictures, and or you can catch them either right on the ground, or you can catch them while they're flying, and you can use sometimes when I used to shoot film, I use up a lot of film, 15-20 rolls of film. But now with the digital camera, you don't really have to do so much. But and maybe on my next little segment, I'll also come out and tell you about a lot of other kind of creatures that you can come upon while you are right there on the river. And also I'll tell you about another place where we can view some other creatures like snow geese and eagles and hawks and so many other kind of wildlife that I like to watch, and a lot of people just don't do it because like I say, they think it gets too cold, or they just cannot withstand it. They don't take enough clothes with them. But I'll be right back, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them. Okay, thanks.